movies is so linear. Our ancestors, we just used to put up certain glyphs, and those mushrooms that I talked to you about, they used to activate your mind, and we used to walk through the temples, and it would come out and jump at us and talk to us. But now, our third eye's open, we can do this all on our own. See? As we go further from Pan's Labyrinth, there goes the shoelaces. This was an article for Michael Jordan's shoes. Remember yesterday I told you Michael Jordan gave us an offering? In this article for his shoes, they tell you that this is Michael Jordan's DNA. And this is the shoelaces. Why are they comparing DNA to shoelaces? Because it's in our blood lineage. This is the telomeres. As your DNA replicates, they gave them not gold, but platinum fucking shoelace tips. Meaning this shit can never get undone. And this is the telomeres that's secreted from the goddess. But at the same time, let's go back. Remember we talked about this? What did you see? What do you see here?
Vagina, fallopian tube.
You see the fallopian tubes? Okay. Since we're talking about movies, occult science, and hip-hop, what is Erykah Badu telling you? She's telling you that the hip-hop is coming from her golden flower. You see the horns of the record player? It's coming from her. She got the scarab right here, Erykah Badu. It's all in our science. It's all ours. Take a look.
Turn the lights on.
It's right there. She's walking, the portal is the black woman. That's why they had to take Sarah Barton and they studied all of the Hottentot Venuses, and they were taking all those pictures and studying the different vulva, the different types of labia, because they know the black woman is the damn gateway. And Erykah Badu's telling you, listen to my pussy. Don't listen to the lips here, listen down here, I'm going to take you home. The black woman is telling you. I'm not lying, look. This is what the one's fallopian tubes look like. Let's flash back. Look at Badu, and now look at Pan's Labyrinth. You're the labyrinth, it's all about you. It's all about the Black Madonna. It's all about you. Check it out. It's right there. Need I say more? Did we not lift the veil and undo what all this science is? It's layered. And if you just cross-reference to hip-hop, to the music, to the movies, it'll open right up to you. It'll open right up to you. And that's right on the album cover. And if you look at it, the messages is still here. It's just in our DNA. We just naturally come up with it. What made her put that up there?
And she's calling herself the healer.
She's calling herself the healer. And now, like I said, they won't put Erykah Badu in front of your face. That's why she reminds you she's the butterfly. They put a little white girl. It has nothing to do with her. She can't open up portals. Portals are real. We can actually have access to other dimensions. And there it is. That's his DNA.
Boom. Fallopian tubes. It's all science.
And you can fly. That's what you can do.
It's all science.
All science. And that's how we get into the psychedelic. So I was telling you, the psychedelic era. The psychedelic era, they were getting into a lot of hallucinogenic things, telling you this altered states of consciousness. Altered states of consciousness.
And hip-hop took a change when De La Soul showed up on the scene. Right. We took off the gold medallions and put on the African medallions, and we began to, move a little bit differently. De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, Tribe Called Quest, Queen Latifah, Moni Love, they all brought a different energy back into hip-hop.
And that was what the Twisted language is about.
And that was that paradigm shift.
And if anybody ever seen the Bloodlines lecture when I talked about the Twisted, it's right in your DNA. All the slang that we talk, it encompasses a different vibration that they can't understand. And they called it the Twisted. Our ancient shamans in Peru taught that. That when you used to take the hallucinogenic mushrooms, it's in a book by Jeremy Narby called The Cosmic Serpent. And he talks about how the ancient shamans, when they went under the ayahuasca, which was a drink that opened them up to hallucinogens, the visions that they saw, they couldn't communicate to them with normal words. They had to use metaphors. They had to use a slang that he translated as the Twisted. Twisted is DNA language. That's our slang. They say that DNA has a language. Well, every time you see DNA, they show you A-C-G-T. It has a language. And it breaks down into 3 words. So you could take, let's say, let me write on the board a little bit for y'all. I'm going to break this whole thing down that they're talking about what we do naturally. DNA has a four-letter language. You guys familiar when you see that?
Yeah.
Every time you see that on DNA, it's right there next to the double helix on the right. But you can make 3-letter words like, let's say you got C-A-T. Now, due to the fact that you can make 3-letter word combinations, the whole language is really 4 by 4 by 4. And now you get 64 words in the whole language. That's the 64 permutations in DNA. You break that down further, you get 6 plus 4 equals 10. That's I'm sorry. 6 plus 4 equals 10. That's Kabbalistic in nature. That's the 10% that they say we only use. But let me tell you something deeper. This word right here, in your DNA, you have 20 amino acids, and you also have an exclamation point and a question mark, which work as 2 additives onto it. So there's 22 different definitions. You know what the white boy says that is? He says that's junk DNA. Every word has 22 different definitions, and they don't understand it. You know why? Because they don't use metaphors. Yo, Doc, that shirt is hot. That shit is ill, kid. Yo, you flaming right now.
How many
That's off the chain. How many different ways can we say it? And that gives us flavor. That makes us feel it a little bit more. That's like, yo, son, I got the new spinners. My shit is ill. You want to go get that car. Now you acclimate yourself to a physical reality. Our ancestors use metaphors to talk about other dimensions. So the more and more we use different words to get into another dimension, we were able to fill in the tree of life. And as everybody knows, if you outline the tree of life, it looks like an atom. But there's 22 different pathways that connect this whole tree of life. Y'all familiar with the tree of life? And our words can fill this whole thing up. So if you can fill this up, what happens? You can go through Daf, which is the hidden where knowledge is at. And now you can activate this whole thing and light it up, and light up your whole central nervous system and get out of here. They call this the twisted language. They call it junk DNA because they can't activate the whole thing. And it's our slang that can actually do it. So these brothers, De La Soul, they was letting you know, look, there's other realities. There's other realities, and let's start getting like the ancient shamans and start activating this whole goddamn thing. So think about it. If we could talk about bling bling and all that shit, and look at us, we getting so dense. What happens if we start doing the opposite? We could start opening up a whole new world through hip hop, through what we're doing. It's right here, right in your DNA. Twisted. They talking about Michael Jordan's DNA. They study Michael Jordan. They probably take blood samples of all our athletes. And if I'm reading an article to you and they're comparing DNA to shoelaces, why is that in a magazine they showing Michael Jordan's sneakers as shoelaces? They black the whole sneaker out just to show you the shoes. Before the sneaker dropped, they just showed you the shoelaces. Why are they comparing it to DNA? And in the article it says, I didn't bring the magazine, but it says, we are Michael Jordan's DNA. What are they telling you? And they're referencing it to the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna is Isis, is Ishtar, and she's holding her breast for you. Because our ancestors said, you study serious cosmology, you can do that and secrete telomerase naturally. In the article it says, we used to be able to do this naturally, but something got switched off. What happened? Mind control. We now think that Mary is someone who lived. Jesus is going to come back and save us and come on a white horse. Bullshit. The second coming is you. I'm here. I'm here. We're here. We're the family. Where we at? You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
That's what it is.
Boom. Get back to some more album covers. This is what we was talking about yesterday. The brother was asking, how can one person see something one way and somebody else see something another way? And I was simply trying to explain to him that we have a fragmented view. Even if they're saying diluted people is what they got inside there in 2020. They're telling you that that's the clear vision. You have to see things fragmented if you're trying to get the whole story, because our story has been so fragmented for so long. So you can't just get one view of it. You have to look at it from as many angles as you can. As you begin to ponder all things, before I come up before you, 9 times out of 10 I done looked at it from a number of angles, because I want to make sure as I talk about something that I'm giving you a more well-rounded view of it. So that's important. Next clip. That's what the movie Vantage Point was about. Anybody seen Vantage Point?
You gotta have multiple perspectives to look at.
They showed one crime and it was 8 or 9 different views and everybody was right. You see what I'm saying?
To break down what actually broke down, I couldn't look at it from how I used to go to Catholic school, and I was taught that all these different prophets and all these different biblical characters existed. I had to start looking at fuck that book, I gotta grab another book, multiple perspectives, and now I have the vantage point now. Now I'm at the advantage.
Exactly.
That's what that movie Vantage Point was talking about.
Exactly. Boom, and that's just my man Jesse Jeff highlighting the right eye. You know what I'm saying? Right eye of Horus is dealing with the left brain, we know, which is dealing with logic. Don't throw logic out of the window just because we're right brain thinkers. Logic helps balance you out, keep you balanced. You need logic. You know what I'm saying? A lot of sisters are logic. They're intuitive and spiritual, but a lot of times the sisters are the ones who are going to give you the logic perspective of a lot of different things. A lot of times we all from a tangent. I'm going to open up a donut shop. I'm just going to... And the sisters say, hold on. Have you done the research on how many people are eating donuts? You know what I'm saying? They add that balance, that logic, and give you that concrete, basis to get things done. Because we just be off on a tangent sometimes. So that's that balance. Very key. Boom! Remember this album cover? The cool. They said this album cover dropped before the buildings dropped.
Yeah. That's right.
And they try to suppress that information. They had this premonition long time ago. Even though Biggie said, you know, blow up like the World Trade, he was talking about the 93, you know, the test run. Because that was the test run. You do know that. They put a firecracker in the basement of the World Trade Center in 93. It was a test run. And then they came on, show you how evil this shit is. They came on later and said, listen, that's how they introduced Bin Laden into your subconscious mind. That was the first time we heard the name Bin Laden. 1993 when the firecracker. So they implemented Bin Laden, take that whole act. Then they came on, the specialists, and said, well, really, if you want to blow up a building, you need to hit it from up top. They was telling you what they were going to do. They were saying the reason Bin Laden did not succeed is because the base of the building has a certain structure. You really need to hit it from up top. That's exactly what the fuck happened. And we didn't think twice about it in America. As soon as it happened, everybody said Bin Laden. Because this is what happened in 93. And we know that's how they perform that magic. That's how they, you know, lay that kind of stuff out. But this album cover had dropped before that. Unless it was some kind of hoax. As I remember, they suppressed this long time ago. Let's go to the next slide. Boom! Crisscross. Anybody remember that group, Crisscross? Yeah. They was kind of acting like they was twins.
Twin Towers.
Twin Towers. It's called The Bomb. And this came out years before. So a lot of times we are foretelling the future without even knowing it, of what's going to happen. It's called a bomb, big explosion, called the bomb. They was representing as twins. You see what I'm saying? They're dealing with that twin energy. Next. This is what they after.
This is what they after. We're moving towards a different region of space. And Bam Bottle's letting you know the light. We're moving towards the galactic center. And that's very, very profound to even put that out. And that's what's happening come 2012 and different days.
And he got a goddamn barbed wire, so everyone ain't welcome.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's welcome.
Because that's what barbed wire is, you know, partition off. So that was kind of deep. He was showing a galactic view, but he had barbed wire there. Everyone ain't welcome to come over on that side. Everyone can't receive the light. You see what I'm saying? We can go in all day. You see what I'm saying? Just by looking at those particular images and so forth and so on. Outcast. I don't put outcast. The sister asked me yesterday about outcast. So usually when I'm doing photos and I put our bunch, Young Jeezy with Lil Wayne and T.I., I never put outcast in that. Not only are they outcast themselves, but they are on a different frequency altogether when it came to hip hop. They were advanced in what they were doing. So I don't even like to bunch them into the dirty South because they are far beyond and above that. You see what I'm saying? And they're aliens, so they're telling you they ain't from here.
From another place, but when everybody thought that Andre 3000 was crazy for wearing a turban and why is he so different than Big Boy, it's because he was trying to look like this. Like a black and more with a turban. Check 3000 out in the background. He wore the fitted with the ATL, he wore the turban. There was that perfect combination of the present and the past. The brothers wearing the fitted hats now to the back and to the side, ain't nothing but your modern day turban. And 3000 new. Let me remind y'all to let you know why we ET aliens. Get back to the black and more science. They was letting you know. Jungle Brothers.
Straight out of the jungle. Very deep. What the main dude in this group, he turned something else now, didn't he? He's a Bati boy. Firebun. Firebun. Yeah, but listen, you know, he got twisted out. I saw him, I said, nah, that can't be my man from the Mike G, not Mike G, the other dude, man. That broke my heart, man, because of what the Jungle Brothers represented in that particular time. Because in the hood, our hood is a jungle. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep them going under. You see what I'm saying? So even if we're on a concrete terrain, it's still a jungle. We're still being hunted as species every day in our hood. And they represented that particular aspect, the Jungle Brothers. I just want to show a few clips of some raw graffiti. I seen it out here too. I was driving down, saw a couple pieces out here, yeah. These are archetypal symbols, archetypes. What does it mean? I ain't got a goddamn clue. But those who are from that school, who can pick up those sigils and those, I can tell you exactly, this shit might say hip hop. You see what I'm saying? Because we had the ability to bend words and things of that nature and create it, and this came out of a brother's mind. This came from the astral realm into a physical existence, and he can give you, whoever did it, the whole story on what it meant. A lot of our brothers and sisters can look at things, they can't hear it. They can't maybe read, they can visualize it and get the whole story. That's why every time they find some ancient relics that's got some writing, they gotta find some niggas to tell them what that shit means. We can just look at it, boom. I can give you bits and pieces. I might not be able to give you the whole story, but I can tell you what that means. So that's when you click the next one.
And the modern day hieroglyphs are not understood by the white man. Just like the ancients did not understand our hieroglyphics. That's why what I read to y'all in the book, the white boy could write about it, but I'm the only one who could really break it down. But not only break it down, I'm the only one who can activate it. See, that's the difference. Remember with CERN, they're trying to create a machine that can open up a wormhole. Our ancestors voted on the wall and said that technology is inside your organs. You can activate it. That ISIS holding a child, it's a black woman. It's not a white girl because they're calcified. So they cannot, this as much as they couldn't understand that, they can't understand this. And that's why they got to shut down our hip-hop, because this connects us to that.
And this is the genesis of hip-hop. This came before the DJ. In the beginning was the word. All right, and this word was plastered all over trains, and the train was going through all 5 boroughs, waking brothers and sisters up along the way. The word was traveling, literally, through all the boroughs. You see what I'm saying? So this was a very important aspect of hip-hop that doesn't get a lot of, shine now, but this was critical. This is what was giving us those archetype images that woke us up. And the rest is history.
They called our graffiti pollution. They said we're polluting the environment. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Here we are writing on trains, so everybody on every borough could see it. The message had to get out. And subconsciously, what made us want to write on the train? We could have on a building, but we chose to do it on a means of transportation. Where were we trying to transport or teleport you to? And you got to think about that. These words, if you break them down, even subconsciously we're just doing it. Brothers was getting arrested. If you watch Wild Style, one of the first hip-hop movies, brother was getting chased by cops. And his older brother who came home from the army said, you sitting around doing this shit? You should be out on the medal for this. Stop fucking around and be a man. This is what makes you a man. And that was Nas's intro on the Illmatic. Because he was letting you know by the title of that first track, that was the genesis. This is my wild style. And if you don't understand it, it ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for you. But this is for us. That's our wild style that the white man is trying to understand.
Exactly.
There goes some more glyphs.
Some more glyphs. And colors, I don't need to get into that as Israel was here, showing you the importance of different colors, you know what I'm saying, different shapes and
Just think about it, man. You got a spray can, and you know how to put it at the proper angle, spray this way, and that's what comes out of it? That's magic.
And remember, these murals was a block long. Now, I've tried to draw something on a paper, and I might lose my way, and the whole picture come out twisted on a piece of paper. They was putting massive pieces up that were immaculate. 2 guys, one guy working on that end, one guy working on this end. They meet in the middle and it's perfect. That is science.
This stuff should be in museums. I mean, I'm telling you a story. When I was younger, me and my crew used to steal bikes all the time. We used to go to the privileged white neighborhoods and steal their bikes and try to spray paint it. And I was shitty at spray paint. Every time I spray paint, it would bleed, or you see the streaks. This got no streaks. How can you do it? You had the proper angle spray.
Yes.
Throwing another one. Look at this. There was no airbrush back then. We was doing it with straight cans. That's magic. Out of nowhere, you're just creating that. And nobody can know what it reads or says. That's a black art.
And also, remember, they took all the art out of the classrooms. They took all the music instruments out of the classrooms in an attempt to suppress who we were. That's like denying a fucking cat milk or some shit. You know what I'm saying? They try to deny us our very essence. We dance, we sing, we speak. You know what I'm saying? We pound drums. We do that. They try to deny that. And we said, okay, well, I can't do the art in class. No problem. I guess it's cans. Show you my work. Oh, you don't have to dance class no more for black people. Conjuring up too much energy. We put the cardboard down, start getting busy. Oh, we can't pound the drums no more. No problem. It's what we did. You see what I'm saying? Beating on the table in the lunchroom and things of that nature. And to the point they saw we was doing it, they had to create drum machines for us. The drum machine is for us. To take what's outside and bring it out. They don't even know how to work those machines. They build them shits and they did that shit to Dr. Dre.
Machines do things they're not even supposed to do.
Get that shit to Dr. Dre and let him figure out what it's supposed to do. My man Sed G from Ultramagnetic was the first one to use a sampler. And he was a master. He was from the projects. He was a master at that machine. He could make that machine sound like a 50-piece orchestra. And it was only 12-second sample time. The type of shit he used to do, I'm going to give up one of his secrets, is it was 12-second sample time. What he would do is, instead of sampling, get up, dance to the drummer's beat, that could be your whole 12 seconds. You'd be done. He would speed the record up. And sample it that fast. So now it only took 1 second. Then he would get in the drum machine and hit some buttons and slow the shit down. Masterful. It took motherfuckers years to figure that shit out. How the fuck is he playing a 50-piece band and he only got 12 seconds? Motherfuckers was trying it, they couldn't figure it out. Speed up, sample the record fast, play the shit back slow. Sample all the samples fast. Alchemist. Slow them shits down when you play the shit back. And he would still have 4 or 5 seconds left. You see what I'm saying? Sorry about that set, I had to give that up. Next! Oh, let's get into JC a bit.
Let's talk about Jigga.
We ain't talked about, did we talk about Jigga? We talked a little bit about Jigga.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just going, JC got the cross on his chest, representing the Christian, way of life. Look, it's real gray, you know what I'm saying? We know gray is confusion, right? Gray is a color of confusion. Black and white coming together forms gray. Confusion. What are these two buildings? Are these the World Trade Center? What are them two buildings on the side? We're going to figure all of this out. Jay-Z got his start from Jazzo, as we know. Jazzo was dealing with high science. Always has been, always will be. Next. Boom. Now, this was a classic album.
Classic.
This album, I mean, say what you want to say. This was a classic. He became the mouthpiece for hustlers. And he did it in such an articulate way. It became the manifesto. That might, and I get a lot of flack for saying this, to me, that was better than Ready to Die. And I didn't think that at the time. In retrospect, when I listened to it, it was such grown-up flow that it was crazy. So Jay-Z became the mouthpiece for hustlers. This is when he was pure. This album was so dynamic because it took a long time to drop.
Right. And to add on to what I was saying before about Ebonics, back home we got VH1 Soul, where DJ Premier, who's one of the producers on this album, was sitting with Jay-Z in the studio, and they were just reflecting, I think, on the 10-year anniversary of the album, and Premier was admiring Jay-Z, saying that his flow was so crazy, his Ebonics was so crazy that only people in the hood could understand it. It's a language, but at the same time, it's English the whole time, but most people just don't understand it. Just imagine if Jay-Z using his rhymes to talk about what we talking about. He could open up a whole new reality, because he opens up a reality for brothers to want to be pimps, for brothers to want to rock ice. Jay-Z tell you, wear button-ups now. Now nobody wants to wear baggy jeans or wear, now you got to get your grown man on.
Yes.
If he tells brothers to get their grown man along the lines of being a pharaoh, being a high priest, just imagine. Just imagine. Because that's what he does. He imagines his rhymes, and he just says it.
And we don't want to discount the genius of a Jay-Z.
I mean,
let's be real.
Jay-Z will tell you, I'm making short-term goals. When the weather falls, just put away the leathers and put ice on the gold. I'm chilling with enough bail money to free a big bully. High stakes, I got more states than Philly. Shopping sprees, copping sprees. Come on, all of that flow right there, if you put real magic into that, I mean, he's telling you, man, I'm making sure, my short-term goal is to put away the leathers and put ice on the gold. As the season changes, I want to floss a little bit better, so put the leather away, let me floss my diamonds. What if he start talking about when the equinox changes, I want to change into a new entity? Just think about it.
Exactly.
Because brothers go out and they copy, I mean, brothers will go broke having a Cadillac truck with rims and still live in the projects, where it makes no sense to them. Just imagine if you start talking about stuff that makes sense, where you acknowledge yourself. You're going to start talking about a whole nother reality. That's the power that's in the metaphors, and that's why the ancients called the language twisted. Because that language is to make you interface with another reality. Our pineal glands are dormant. So when you open it up, third density, they always tell you when you get into metaphysics, the physical ain't real. We're the ones who can open it up with the word. That's what we said we'd be left with. So this album, if you listen to it right, man, just the flow, he's just upgrading on how you should talk. That's swagger.
And
that's
that swagger represented also the sophisticated hustler. The one who was sitting on maybe $1 million and didn't know how to, wash that money, how to flip that money. Biggie represented just from ashy to classy. You know what I'm saying? He represented a nigga on his grind any way necessary. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z was more of a, listen, bro, you know what I'm saying? We getting this money, but how are we going to clean this money up? How are we going to transform from a street hustler to a corporate hustler? Because that's what he is now, a corporate hustler. You see what I'm saying? So we may, I kid him and shit because he's funny and shit. But he is an intelligent brother. And he knows what he's doing. But there are other people behind him we're going to get into. Let's look at the story. Boom! Blueprint. The blueprint. Now, who the hell are these motherfuckers over here? They never show who the hell those people are.
Show them boys over there.
They showing feet. Who the hell are these people? That was the first thing that came to my mind. Who the hell are they? He's sitting at the head of the class about the takeover. Remember, he dropped the takeover on that joint. This is about the takeover. That might be the Illuminati. Who is that? Yeah. Over there that he's telling, don't worry, I got this now. Put me in charge of this. I got this. Of course, the cigar represents the black man's penis. All right? We understand that. He got his microphone. That's another penis. Let's keep it real. And he's sitting there, and it's the blueprint. In Masonry, the Blue Lodge is the illusionary lodge. All right? Now, when he dropped this album, I say it all the time, he dropped this album on 9/11 and sold 1 million goddamn copies in that week. Now, what state of mind are the people in when the world is collapsing and I need the Jay-Z album? Look, y'all better get in the shelter. Shit is going down. Hold on. I need the Jay-Z album. Listen to the psychosis of that. He moved 1 million copies in the most dangerous times ever. That's power. All right? That's showing corporate America. This brother has a spell on black people. Shit is going down. Their world is about to change and they need the Blueprint album. That is crazy. Boom. This is his 10th album, and as we showed on the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, that's the kingdom. That's Malkuth, the kingdom. Now, did Jay-Z know anything about that? Who knows? Why would he name his 10th album Kingdom Come? And we know on the Tree of Life that Malkuth is the kingdom. He used red. That's the root chakra. As you line it all up. Did he know this? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe somebody in his camp, like Leo Cohen, understands these sciences. Just bring it across the table. Hey, Jay, this is the cover we're thinking about going with. And he just signs off, or maybe he knows. Because I also broke down that Bina is that third Sephirah, and we know that the attribute of Bina is called Jehovah, or Jehovah, as he uses it, and it is a jealous God. Okay? We understand these attributes, you know what I'm saying, that come with that. Boom. American gangster. He's coming out of the light into the darkness. That's evil, or supposed to be in European terms. Why is he coming out of the darkness, the light into the darkness? Now, why not out of the darkness into the light? You see what I'm saying? He also has Jay-Z in red, of course, still dealing with the root chakra. American gangster. He said he would never go back and start talking about hustling on that level. This album is straight gangster. Straight about hustling, selling drugs. And he had a song on there called Blue Magic. Again, his fascination with colors. All right? Fade to Black, the Black Album, the Blueprint, red cover on Kingdom Come, the Blue Magic. He got a color. He got his own color called Jay-Z Blue. Yeah. That's a color. You can wear that shit, Jay-Z Blue. He said my favorite hue is Jay-Z Blue. And he has that color registered. That's his color. What's the fascination with these colors? You see what I'm saying? Boom. Giving it up. And most of the time he do that shit like this. Throw his eye in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Letting you know, again, what time it is. This also could represent vagina, you know what I'm saying? And see the Rockaway, that's the Virgo symbol. That's the Virgo when you turn. That's the sign of Virgo. Beyonce's Virgo. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. And go back to that real quick. He wasn't the first one to put that sign up. Nas did. Nas put that up in '94. And it ain't the top video. Yeah. He did that. And then he didn't do it no more. And all of a sudden Jay-Z's doing it. What's that all about? They together now. They together. And of course we know that can also represent, you know what I'm saying, the square and the compass. hip-hop.
Operation is all Masonic.
It's all Masonic. And that's the Virgo sign. I couldn't turn it, but that's the same Rockaware symbol that he's using.
Same one.
Same one. Same one. Boom. We're going to stop there because we're going to take a break.
Yes,
Or do we have time? Let me know.
Another 10 minutes before break.
Okay, another 10 minutes before break. This will be perfect. Let me get a shot. Say hi to the people.
We're still rolling. We're about to get into a breakdown.
All right.
I'm sure you who runs things.
Let me just say this. Back in the days, like I said, I smoked more weed and did more drugs by the time I was 21. When I was legally able to drink, I stopped. That's how much shit I had done. But there used to be people in my hood who would find me to get me high so that they could ensure that their high was great. No, sir, they would find me, say, yo, we want to get high, but we want to make sure this high is a success. I never had to buy weed in the hood. They would buy the weed, get me high, and sit back and wait. Wait for the shit to kick in, and then they would be like, yeah! So, anyway, back to some real shit. Behind hip-hop, I'm noticing there's always some Jewish people at the forefront. They don't come out in the front too much, but they're always around since the birth of hip-hop. We got Russell Simmons, and we know his right-hand man, click that, was Rick Rubin.
There's always a Jew on the scene.
There's a Jew on the scene, maybe playing like he's a humble helper or something. Because here's the thing, if they're going to act like they're us, they must monitor us at all times. Since we are the original and the true Jew. You see what I'm saying? So they always seem to be around the movie theaters, the record companies, because they know that's how we perform our magic. All right? And they want to take our magic for themselves. Our magic is in the way we dance, in the way we sing, in the way we do what we do. That's our true magic. All right? And they can never take that away from you. Trust me, they're in the lab somewhere trying to steal your thoughts so that you can't perform your own magic. But that's our true dancing. Even R. Kelly said it in the song, Happy People. He said, what do we do when times are bad? What do we do when things are down? We dance. There you go, you are happy people. So understanding, even in the hardest times, the slave times or something, whatever, we danced. We beat the drum. We did those things. So they understand that our magic is in that. They can't understand. We keep oppressing these people. We keep beating these people, and they keep fucking singing. It didn't make any sense. Listen, we done water hose them down, and they singing. It didn't make any. We shall overcome. We kept singing. They didn't understand that because that's where our true magic is, and we got to teach that to our children. So Rick Rubin showed up and started Def Jam along with your boy Russell Simmons. He eventually moved on his way, but I'm just trying to point out the Jew on the scene. We know Russell studied hip-hop in the BX. He went to all the parties and saw Africa Bambaataa, the true godfather of hip-hop. See, Russell was the godfather of the matrix of hip-hop, but the true godfather is Africa Bambaataa. So he sat around, watched all that. Their first artist they signed was Tila Rock. He did It's Yours, commentating, illustrating, Tila Rock. And when Tila Rock and Jazzy J did not want to sign with Russell and them, because he probably said, I ain't feeling that, they went and got LL Cool J. He is the counter. Listen to LL's early work and listen to Tila Rock. It's the same person. Next. Ooh. This is the high priest of hip-hop. This nigga here. Now listen to the music he was using. All that funkadelic parliament stuff, that stuff resonates in our soul a certain way. And I told you yesterday, music is the only thing that can enter your mind without your permission. It is us. It is like walking. You see what I'm saying? So, but he was throwing them other messages in the music once they got you open. That's what made his music so effective. And he is probably the greatest producer ever. I give it to him. The way he able to manipulate sound and create a whole different sound is amazing. Some of the things he did, give up some of that nigga's secrets. I give him all of them. Instead of using the sample, he would just have somebody come in and play the record. Play and give it a new crisp feel, the same sounds, and then he would throw static in it to make it sound like it was a sample. So it still had that hip-hop gritty feel, but it wasn't a sample. It was actually played by a band. Fuck you, Dre. All right? Now, his son just died. Mysteriously, his 20-year-old son just died, and nobody is talking about that. Nobody has said anything, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, dude, what's going on? Your 20-year-old son died in his sleep, and nobody is making an uproar about this? Maybe it has something to do with this Detox album. We're going to find out soon. All right, but let's connect. Who was connected to him? That's Jerry Heller. He was connected to Eazy-E, NWA, Jerry Heller, Jew boy. Started out Eazy-E. Put Eazy-E onto a few things and so forth and so on. Took him under the wing. Might have raised him up. You follow what I'm saying? Tapped him on the shoulder and said, I choose you. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, they can't do the magic, but they know you can. I choose you to perform my magic. Make me pay. So, here's another Jew on the scene. Let's go to the next one. Biggie! Who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning. Crack of dawning. Now I'm yawning. Cold out my eye. See who's this paging me. Why? It's my nigga Rich from the barbershop. Told me he was in the gambling spot and heard the intricate plot. He's trying to stick me like fire paper, neighbor. Slow down, Rich. He chill. What's the caper? Remember them niggas?
From the field up in Brownville, got your room on spit smoke.
Nice wit. Open nigga prospect. Nah, that's my nigga. Nah, love wouldn't disrespect.
I didn't say them. Look at his flow, man.
His
This
flow?
one man who could go from one character to another.
Immaculate.
And write a story and change his voice.
Crazy storyteller. He made me want to get gangster. When his songs was playing, he could paint pictures. He was just a nigga though. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it 100 with you in terms of what he knew. If he knew what he was supposed to know, he knew how his words could manipulate reality, it would have been a whole different ballgame. But he represented potential. So all my Biggie fans out there, I'm not hating. He represented potential. You know what I'm saying? Where if he had got under the study of who we are, he could have used those same flows to change our condition. Because he did. He moved us from ashy to classy. But he said, money, holes, and clothes, it's all a nigga knows.
And Biggie was able to tell you how to undo your insecurity. Biggie was supposed to be a big, flat, fat, dog, ugly guy. Was supposed to get no girls, but he put me up on game when I was younger. He was like, as soon as she buy that wine, I'm going to creep up from behind. I ask you what your interests are, who to be with, things that make you smile. What numbers to dial? You going to be here for a while? I'm going to call my crew. You going to call your crew? We can rendezvous at the bar round 2. So he was telling you how to undo your insecurities and become a man, because he told you, I'm dark and ugly as ever.
However,
I stay Gucci down to the socks. Rings and rocks, filled with rocks. And my jam knocks in your Mitsubishi. Girls creep me when they see me. Navajos creep me in they teepee. As I lay down laws like Allen Cobbett. Stop it! If you think he's gonna make a profit. So his rhymes were so crazy that he was taking to the other levels and putting people up on game. And he represents the embodiment of what the black man feared as insecurity, because he was not supposed to be loved. He said, I'm black and ugly as ever. That's a confident brother right there, and that's why he had that power. Biggie was not supposed to be that big, but he told you, I'm black and ugly as ever. I'm like a big Buddha-looking type of man, respect.
Exactly.
And that's crazy. But who's behind Big?
Clive Davis. Because he's the one who gave Puffy the $10 million. You know what I'm saying? To start Bad Boy. They saw something in P. Diddy and gave him $10 million. Biggie went around, P. Diddy went around looking for an MC to start his label. They said, you need to go to BK and get up with Biggie. And he said, I thought Biggie was going to be this, you know, pretty boy. He said, when I saw this fat black nigga, I said, oh man, how can we market this shit? You know what I mean? But when Biggie started flowing, he said, there it is. We're going to roll with that. He even put on Crack Mac. And that nigga had the moon on his face. That nigga had so many craters in his face, I was studying the moon. So, yeah, nigga, we from the moon too, nigga. I can see it. This nigga's face. So, Clive Davis, another Jew. And he recognizes talent. You see what I'm saying? All of us down with Clive at some point or another. Alicia Keys, all of them. So just showing you that there's always a Jew around either funding something or watching or monitoring our progress, filtering, monitoring who we are and things of that nature. Didn't I see you in New York, man?
It was in Detroit.
Oh, it was Detroit. Damn, you get all over the place. Stop. Is this nigga Asian? Somebody. Anybody know this nigga? That's what I'm saying. I want to fuck with you. Alright, we know Chigga, you know what I'm saying? That swagger. They call this nigga camel face now and shit. Say he look like a nigga on the camel cigarettes and shit. But his swagger is unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? Let's give it up. Give it up for that nigga swagger. Say what you want to say. That nigga swagger is tight.
Yeah, it is.
He got that new shit out now, Swagger Like Us. Anybody hear this shit? Swagger Like Us. I said, I can't wear tight jeans because my knot is too fat. You know what I'm saying? So his whole swagger, and he is the blueprint for that swagger. All these young dudes look up to what Jay has to say and things of that nature. So let's see who's behind Jay. Oh, Leo Cohen. There it is. His pops is Mossad, which is fucking Jewish CIA type shit. That's his pops. No telling what the hell this nigga's into. You know what I mean? And again, he took Def Jam from Russell Simmons. I don't care what nobody say. Right up under his nose. He's the one who split Jay-Z from Dame Dash and Big. Told him, you don't need them, you don't need them. That's a protocol that's been going on forever. He went to France. Remember, Jay-Z had a big vacation in France, and that's the home of the Illuminati. He said he was on a boat out there relaxing, probably went to get raised up. When he came back, it was a whole different ballgame. He no longer needed these niggas with him. And Dame Dash said he passed him in the elevator and the nigga didn't even speak to him. He was like, I am somebody different now. And Dame was like, damn.
It's like that.
It's like, that's like if I see Rich in the elevator, nigga don't even speak. Nigga get a new job or some shit, like, damn, nigga. That's deep. That's deep, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I went to a Jay-Z concert at Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. I was in New York like about this past winter, a year ago, almost a year ago. And Jay's rocking the crowd, you know what I mean? He did like 2 sessions, did his Reasonable Doubt album, then he went to a whole nother set. But up in the balcony, if you ever watch Hip Hop Honors, it was held in the same place. Leroy Cohen is just sitting up there with a couple other white boys, a whole bunch of little models around, they popping bottles and just looking down at Jay-Z as if that's their little puppet. But to add on to that, tell them what Twin told you.
Yeah, they was in Brooklyn, they ran, my boys ran up on some Hasidic Jews and they was talking about Jay-Z. And the Hasidics said, oh, that's Leor's boy. As if that's Leor's Goyim.
That's his slave.
The Hasidics was like, oh, that's Leor's boy, his boy, call him a boy.
So all these Jews that we've been showing you behind these rappers, it could be them just saying, these are my little slaves. And all I have to have is one slave, one stud slave that I produced to now control Brooklyn, to now control the dirty, to now control the West Coast. They don't have to be physically on the plantation. I just got one house nigga to program all of them. And look at that type of mind control through now blasting it throughout the airwaves. Why are we showing you so many Jews behind the scene? We always say Jews run this shit, you know what I mean? It's a Zionist faction. And now it controls hip hop.
Next. 50 Cent.
It's another one.
Alright, he's wearing the cross on his chest. Also, you know, representing somebody
They need a stud. You see that type of, they need a stud now. It's a perfect slave.
Perfect slave. And in his first video with Dr. Dre,
they showed how they made it.
They showed how they made his
ass.
ass.
In the laboratory getting pumped up.
In the video, in a laboratory, they putting this nigga together. Heavy science. Alright, we're gonna make us a Goyim.
They were grafting together and splicing and saying, you know, we're gonna get the perfect stuff to get these people on another level, to make them think hip hop has to do with getting shot 9 times. I gotta get shot for somebody to appreciate me now.
And they also used him to take out Ja Rule. Because Ja Rule was about love.
Yep.
All of Ja Rule's songs was about women. You know what I'm saying? How I feel about women. So they used him to knock off that feminine energy. Look at it on the chessboard. And you moving this piece like I am Jimmy Iovine. Next. And I'll use my piece to bump your piece, and Leo Cohen is saying, well, I own Ja Rule. And you see what I'm saying? Look at it in that perspective, that these are just goyams. These are just puppets, and the puppet masters moving their asses on a chessboard. You know what I'm saying? So Jimmy Iovine, who had a song out called Nigga when he was in a rock band. You see what I'm saying? He controls Dre, Eminem, and 50. This dude right here. Interscope. You know what I'm saying? We know what he's into. Next. Lil Wayne. He also down with Universal, which is the parent company of Interscope. But what I found interesting about this next lady I'm about to show, she does not own Lil Wayne. However, she's the one who negotiated the Cash Money deal. Show that next clip.
This lady.
Wendy Day. Anybody ever heard of her? She renegotiates all the rappers' deals to get them better deals. And she does a great job at it. She negotiated Cash Money's deal. But is that some good Samaritan stuff, or that just her playing her post because they have to monitor us at all points in time? All right, so with that said, we're going to take a break.
No, continue. We're just going to roll out the tape. So.
Oh, how much time we got?
We're about to something 12.
Let's keep it rolling. Shit, I got tons of shit. Boom.
Look at Lil Wayne. See now, he's showing himself as a little baby boy. All I'm focused on here is, look at his tattoos. Are you guys familiar with why they wear the teardrop tattoos? See, over in America, that's a gang thing. That's a blood crip thing. That's a gang thing. When you wear the tattoo, that means you bodied somebody, meaning you killed somebody before. So are these guys really gangsters, or they really letting cops know, like, I done killed somebody? These guys is fakers, but in ancient times, we always had facial scars. We had tribal markings on the face. But what type, we had to put in work to become a man where you could earn your stripes or earn your scars to come into manhood. But what are these brothers doing? They're doing the reverse. They're bragging, I done killed a brother. Yeah, I'm blood, I'm crip, I killed somebody. But I'm going to show you, take you back into time to show you how we looked when we did it. Take a look. See the scar tissue that comes up? That's a high priest right there. He can say, I put it in work. And I'm a spiritual shaman. Check this out. Look at the scars. Check the scars out. Check it out. But Lil Wayne is doing the opposite, letting you know I done killed a black man to actually put this on my face and now I'm supposed to be respected. We're thinking way backwards. But I actually want to show a movie clip, again, since we're talking about movies, to show you how significant the scars are and what it actually means. What it actually means. Y'all familiar with the movie Alien vs. Predator? With Sanaa Lathan.
Alright, so we're going into Nero right away, so we don't make a mistake that we made before, right? That's it.
I'm going to show you guys about science and how they hide it inside of movies.
X that out. Right into Nero. Y'all alright? Everybody good? Yeah. Alright. New Orleans is a major place of Vodun energy. You see what I'm saying? And there's something about Lil Wayne. They can say what they want because all the youth in America is going crazy over Lil Wayne. So there is some magic there. Some form of magic is there within him. He just needs to have it harnessed and brought out and do work for good as opposed to for evil. If there is a such thing. They're afraid to address the Katrina issue in rap or hip-hop because it may affect the bottom line. Kanye said Bush don't like black people. Shit, Bush might have killed his moms. I don't know. Very possible. Very possible. Listen, they shot Sean Bell 50 times in Queens, where 50 is from. How significant is that? And no one, besides a few like Immortal Technique, a few lower tier independent artists, was able to speak up on it because they got this on lock. These guys are afraid that their careers will be over, so they would rather not say nothing. See, listen, our activists in the 60s and 70s didn't give a shit about none of that. They was ready to die for what they believed in. And they were always representing their people at all times. Muhammad Ali just didn't represent Muhammad Ali. He represented his race and was not going to sell out on any shape, form, or fashion. Now, it's like, whoa, that might affect the bottom line. My money might get twisted coming out and saying, I want to do something for you people. Because that's how they see it, you people. If you're not rich and one of them, you are you people. Black, white, indifferent. It's class. That's what that's all about. That deals with class, not necessarily black or white. If you got money, you can play. Arabs are in it, they're all in on it, if you have money. Because that's a whole different class. I also speak about they're separating us by vibration frequencies now. Us in here, they have us separated. I told about yesterday the keywords, overstand, understand, frequency, vibration. That means you are of a certain mindset. in their eyes. So they know how to partition you off. They know Jay-Z represents a hustler and all of the hustlers. They know Nas may represent the militant. You know what I'm saying? So just by the music they play, they can separate you by vibrational frequencies. It's just that deep. The radio station, oldies but goodies, rock, you got a reggae station, you got a hip hop station. So they partition you to target so that the mind control can operate in that way. Yes. Lights. Sorry. Lights. Alright, so we're gonna break there. 5 minutes? Let's keep it moving. Come on down.
Let's get a little bit of questioning.
Yeah, let's get some questions real quick.
I was just going to say, you know the last little Wayne album? The
Carter 3?
The Carter 3, I was listening to it about a couple of months back now. And he got a track, it's the last track of the album. And he does a sample with Nina Simone. Misunderstood.
He dropped.
Really,
He definitely dropped.
Again, let's understand.
I was just kept playing it back.
Yes.
That last 5 minutes where he was talking like how we misunderstood.
And I was like,
Absolutely.
so if anyone gets the album, listen to the last track.
And he stayed drunk and high all the time.
Lil Wayne is the drunken master, just in case if anyone didn't know. He always has a plastic cup because he drinks that.
And he's telling you he's not basically from here. Bobby tell you that shit all the time. Bobby come and say, what you need to do is, you need to drink bottled cough syrup and take about 13 Tylenol. Yeah, about 13 Tylenol. And you're gonna start seeing blue lights and shit. And keep telling you, you know. But see, listen, Bobby's on a very high vibration, so he can do that shit. Because he is not up here. He is not from here. You do that shit and they'll be sitting in your mom's flowers. Like, we are sorry for your loss. Dumb nigga took 13 Tylenol and drank a bottle of cough syrup. Yeah. So understand that Lil Wayne and them stay intoxicated and it never seems to really affect them. This is a different breed of individual. He told you, I'm a Martian. So even though it may look like he is chaotic, there's order to that. And we got to recognize the spiritual principles, even in our hood niggas, because they are conveying messages to us too. Yes?
You said in your book that anyone in the mainstream is like kind of an angel kind.
Yes.
So that's what I was saying to the woman who asked the question over there. That's why no one ain't going to say nothing about Katrina in the mainstream.
Right.
What I was going to go and say, underground, every rapper from the past is still doing their thing. So I got to find out how they do YouTube and like they've got like 10 albums since you last said. Everyone.
Yes.
So I went to school, use the internet to find these where the building pops out.
Yeah, the internet, listen, the internet is not a bad thing. It can be used for good. It's the reason I'm here. It's the reason I get calls from, I'm going to Bavaria, Germany next. What the hell is in Bavaria, Germany? I don't know, but I'll be there. I don't give a shit. I'll go to anywhere. I'll go to Iraq, motherfucker. Shit, y'all paying this shit. You know what I'm saying? The people need information. I don't give a shit. You see what I'm saying? I'm moving on a whole different accord now. You see what I'm saying? So understand that mainstream, they have the prototype for what hip-hop, they want hip-hop to be. They don't need, if they need someone, they'll pluck someone amongst you to represent another aspect of your brain, another aspect of your thought process.
I was going to say, because he's got with Nas as well, because I was assuming with Nas being part of Def Jam.
You know what? My thing with Nas is, again, I'll say this, I love Nas. He's an enigma to me in certain aspects. You listen to all of his music, he's dropping mad jewels. And when I look at the battle between him and Jay-Z, I'm starting to think Jay-Z won the battle. Nas may have won the battle, but Jay-Z won the war. Oh, you see what I'm saying? By saying, you work for me now, nigga. You see what I'm saying? So understand the way the game is played, and Jay-Z piped this girl. Nigga pipe your girl and talk about it and then give you a job? What kind of shit is this? I'm ready to fight, nigga. Shit. You understand what I'm saying? So all of that plays into it. So we can't think, lyrically we know where Nas stands and what Nas did. But did he win the war? Signing the Def Jam, putting out an album called Hip Hop is Dead. They paid him to put out that album. He's the high priest of hip hop. He is the embodiment of hip hop. Say hip hop is dead, and he did. And his next album is called Nigga, so he's telling you hip hop is dead, nigga. Put both albums together. Again, using the album covers to tell you. His album before that was what? Street Disciples. I'm a street disciple, but hip hop is dead, nigga. Put it all together. All right, so we have to begin to decipher these messages, but we're gonna keep our eye on Nas because he's a warrior. You know what I mean? He's a warrior, and I love his work. Yes.
And that's why we both come up here, because I'm going to give you another perspective.
There it is.
Let's look at the movie The Dark Knight. The Joker came in looking like a royal Dark Knight, wearing purple, and he came in with bombs strapped up and had no master plan, but he said, I know why y'all have y'all meetings during the day. I know why y'all afraid to come out at night, because y'all fear the Batman. Or that dude on the screen right there, y'all think he's gonna save your money? He's the type of guy who squeals. See, the Joker was a mastermind. He understood everyone who was around him, and that's why he knew how to take out the Batman. Because he said, y'all not ready to do what I'm going to do. I'll kill myself. I have no fears because I want to exploit society. That's what Nas does. When Nas was down and out and looked like he had no arsenal, Nas told you on his tracks, I'm a mastermind. Nas made a track called Ether and said, Jay, you seem to be only concerned with dissing women. Were you abused as a child, scared to smile? They called you ugly? Well, life is harsh, hug me. Don't disrespect me, etc., etc. So Nas walked in and took out Jay and said, yo, it hurt me when I had to kill you and your whole squad for Dolo. And for Dolo, I could handle this and your soldiers. He told you all of that. But Nas has a new track where he said, I'll walk into the lion's den and take all his chips. That was on the track Success he had with Jay-Z.
With Jay-Z, he said that.
So is Nas planning to do what the Joker did? The Joker called himself an agent of chaos. Nas said, I'm going to hit you with ether, the shit that makes a soul burn slow. So is Nas planning to take over Def Jam? Think about it. It's something to think about.
Something to think about. Okay, we can wind that up now. All right.